Hey everyone, I'm Olivia. I'm 17, top of my class, and completely obsessed with art and history. My room's covered in posters of Roman architecture and Renaissance paintings. Yeah, I'm that kid. Olivia, dinner's ready. My mom's voice echoed up the stairs. I sighed, putting down my sketchbook. Another family dinner, another chance to feel like the invisible child. As I walked into the dining room, my sister Megan was already there, phone in hand, probably texting her latest boyfriend. "How was your day, Megan?" Mom asked, completely ignoring me. "You, boring." Mr. Johnson gave me detention again. "He's such a jerk," Megan replied. Dad chimed in, "Don't worry, sweetie. We'll talk to the principal about that teacher." I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Megan skips class, gets detention, and they want to blame the teacher. Classic. "And you, Olivia? Anything new?" Grandpa asked, giving me a wink. Finally, someone remembered I existed. "Actually, yeah, I got an A on my Italian test." "That's nice, dear," Mom interrupted, turning back to Megan. "Now, about your upcoming cheer competition." And just like that, I was invisible again. But hey, at least I have my grandparents. They understood me. Later that evening, I was in my room, counting the money in my Rome fund jar. Just $200 more. I muttered to myself. I'm so close to affording that trip. A knock on my door startled me. It was Grandma. "Come in," I called, quickly hiding the jar. "Olivia, dear, your grandfather and I have a surprise for you." My heart raced. Could it be? No way. Grandpa appeared behind her, holding an envelope. "We know how hard you've been working and how much you love Italian culture, so." He handed me the envelope. With shaking hands, I opened it and nearly fainted. 2 tickets to Rome. "Oh my God, is this real? Am I dreaming?" Grandma laughed. "It's very real, sweetheart. You deserve it." I jumped up, hugging them both. "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't believe it." Just then, Megan barged in. "What's all the noise about?" I couldn't contain my excitement. Grandma and Grandpa got me tickets to Rome for graduation. Megan's face darkened. "What? But that's not fair. I'm the one who needs a vacation after all the stress I've been under." I ignored her, too happy to let her ruin this moment. "I need to start planning. There's so much to see." As I rattled off my must-visit list, I caught a glimpse of my parents in the doorway. They didn't look happy, but I was too excited to care. For once, something amazing was happening to me and nothing could bring me down. I woke up the next morning still riding high. The Rome tickets were safely tucked under my pillow. As I got ready for school, I couldn't stop grinning. "Olivia, come down here, please," Mom called from downstairs. I bounded down, expecting to discuss trip plans. Instead, I found my whole family in the living room, serious looks on their faces. "What's going on?" I asked, my smile fading. Dad cleared his throat. "We've been thinking about the Rome tickets." "Yeah, isn't it awesome?" "I can't wait to." "We think it would be better if Megan went instead," Mom interrupted. The world stopped. "What?" "Megan's been under a lot of stress lately," Dad explained. "She could really use this trip." I turned to my grandparents, hoping for support. They looked as shocked as I felt. "But those were my tickets," I stammered. "Grandma and Grandpa gave them to me." Megan smirked. "Don't be selfish, Olivia. You know I need this more than you." "This isn't right," Grandpa interjected. "We gave those tickets to Olivia as a reward for her hard work." Mom sighed. "Dad, you don't understand. Megan's been struggling. This could really turn things around for her." "And what about Olivia?" Grandma demanded. "What about her dreams?" "She'll be fine," Dad waved off. "She's always fine." The argument escalated. Voices raised, accusations flew. I stood there numb as my dream crumbled around me. "Fine," I finally said, my voice barely a whisper. "Take the stupid tickets." I ran upstairs, slamming my door. Tears streamed down my face as I collapsed on my bed. How could they do this to me? The next few days were a blur. I went through the motions at school, avoided family dinners, and spent most of my time locked in my room. One afternoon, as I was mindlessly scrolling through my phone, I overheard my parents arguing in their room. "We can't keep doing this, John," Mom hissed. "The credit cards are maxed out, the bank's calling about the mortgage." I know, but what choice do we have? We can't let Megan's mistakes ruin her future." My ears perked up. Mistakes. What mistakes? Maybe if we dip into Olivia's college fund again. I gasped, then quickly covered my mouth. My college fund. They've been using my money. Suddenly, everything started clicking into place. The new car Megan got last year, the expensive cheerleading camp, the constant shopping sprees. I felt sick. They'd been stealing from me to cover Megan's screw-ups. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind raced with questions. How long had this been going on? How much had they taken? And most importantly, what was I going to do about it? As I lay there, staring at the ceiling, a plan began to form. If they thought they could walk all over me, they had another thing coming. Two can play at this game, I whispered to myself. The next morning, I put on a fake smile and joined the family for breakfast. Megan was babbling about her upcoming Rome trip. I'm thinking of extending my stay, she said casually. Maybe hit up Paris too. Mom and Dad exchanged worried glances. I bit my tongue, storing away this information. As I headed out for school, I made a detour. It was time to pay a visit to the bank and find out exactly what was going on with my accounts. The game was on, and I was playing to win. The bank visit was a real eye-opener. My college fund was practically empty. It was time to call in the big guns. Jake, I need your help, I said, cornering my best friend at his locker. What's up, Liv? You look like you've seen a ghost. I lowered my voice. I need you to hack into my parents' financial records. Jake's eyes widened. Whoa, that's heavy. What's going on? I spilled everything, the Rome tickets, the overheard conversation, the empty college fund. Jake listened, his face growing more serious by the second. I'm in, he said finally. Meet me at the library after school. For the next week, Jake and I spent every free moment digging into my family's finances. What we found made my stomach turn. Look at this, Jake pointed at his laptop screen. Your dad's been siphonning money from the family business for years. I leaned in, squinting at the numbers. But where's it all going? Jake pulled up another window. Looks like most of it's been covering Megan's expenses, unpaid credit cards, car payments, even bail money. Bail money? I gasped. What the hell has she been up to? As we dug deeper, the picture got uglier. Dad had been cooking the books, taking out shady loans, even dabbling in some not-so-legal side hustles to keep up with Megan's lifestyle and cover their mounting debts. This is insane, I muttered, running my hands through my hair. What am I supposed to do with all this? Jake gave me a long look. You know what you have to do, Liv. I did know, but the thought of turning in my own parents made me sick. That night, I tossed and turned, weighing my options. On one hand, they were my family. On the other, they'd stolen my future, betrayed my trust, and broken the law. By morning, I'd made my decision. It was time to take action. First stop, my grandparents. I laid out everything Jake and I had discovered. I can't believe it, Grandma whispered, tears in her eyes. How could they do this? Grandpa's face was grim. What do you need from us, Olivia? Your support, I said, and maybe a place to stay when this all goes down. They agreed without hesitation. Next, I approached Ms. Rodriguez, my favorite teacher. She'd always been in my corner, and I needed an adult on my side who wasn't family. This is a serious situation, Olivia, she said after I explained everything. Are you sure you want to go through with this? I nodded. I have to for my future, and honestly, for Megan's too. This can't go on. Ms. Rodriguez sighed. All right, I'll help however I can. With my allies in place, Jake and I started formulating our plan. We need to gather irrefutable evidence, Jake said. Something they can't wiggle out of. I thought for a moment. The family reunion next month. Everyone will be there, including Dad's business partners. Jake grinned. Perfect. We can set up hidden cameras, maybe even get some of them to incriminate themselves on tape. As we hashed out the details, a mix of excitement and dread bubbled in my stomach. This was really happening. You okay? Jake asked, noticing my expression. I took a deep breath. Yeah. It's just, once we do this, there's no going back. Everything changes. Jake squeezed my hand. Sometimes change is necessary. You've got this. Liv. I nodded, steeling myself. The countdown to the family reunion and the biggest confrontation of my life had begun. The day of the family reunion arrived and my heart was pounding. Jake and I had spent weeks meticulously setting everything up. Hidden cameras were in place, and we had a fail-safe plan to expose everything. As family members and Dad's business partners began to arrive, I plastered on a fake smile. "Great to see you, Uncle Bob. How's the golf game?" Meanwhile, Megan was holding court in the living room, bragging about her upcoming Rome trip. "It's going to be so amazing. I might even stay for a whole month." I caught Mom and Dad exchanging worried glances. Showtime. I clinked my glass to get everyone's attention. "I'd like to make a toast to family and to the truth." With that, I nodded to Jake, who hit play on his laptop. Suddenly, the TV screen lit up with damning financial records and recorded conversations. Dad's face went pale. "What is this?" "This," I said, my voice shaking but determined, "is the truth about where our family's money has been going." The room erupted into chaos. Dad's business partners were shouting, demanding explanations. Aunt Susan was crying, and Megan was having a full-blown meltdown. "You can't do this to me," she screamed. "How am I supposed to pay for my DUI lawyer?" Then the room fell silent. "Mom, what DUI?" Megan's eyes widened as she realized what she had said. But it was too late. The floodgates had opened. Megan spilled everything. The drunk driving, the shoplifting, the credit card fraud. With every word, Mom and Dad looked more and more defeated. Suddenly, sirens wailed in the distance. Miss Rodriguez had come through, alerting the authorities at the perfect moment. As the police entered, reading warrant of removals and slapping on handcuffs, I felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. This was justice, but it was also the end of my family as I knew it. Grandpa put his arm around me. "You did the right thing, Olivia. We're so proud of you." The next few months were a whirlwind of legal proceedings. Dad and Megan both faced charges, while Mom got off with probation for her lesser role. Through it all, my grandparents were my rock. One evening, Grandma said, "How would you feel about us being your legal guardians?" I hugged her tightly, tears in my eyes. "I'd love that." As the dust settled, something unexpected happened. The judge ordered that all stolen funds be returned, including my college fund. And remember those Rome tickets? They were mine again. So that summer, instead of moping over lost dreams, I found myself strolling through the Roman Forum with my grandparents, gelato in hand, to new beginnings. Grandpa raised his comb in a toast. To justice and gelato. I grinned. Perfect. Fast forward a few years, and life looks pretty different. I'm in my junior year at a top art school, interning at a prestigious gallery, and my first solo show is coming up next month. Meanwhile, Dad is serving time, Mom's working a minimum wage job, and Megan, last I heard, was struggling through community college, finally facing the consequences of her actions. As for me, I'm planning my next trip to Italy, this time to study for my master's in Florence. Turns out, sometimes losing a dream can lead you to an even better one. So that's my story. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't pretty, but standing up for yourself is always worth it in the end. And that's the end of Olivia's story. Now I have a question for you. If you were in Olivia's position, would you have exposed your family's crimes knowing it could tear your family apart and lead to legal consequences for your parents and sister? Or would you have kept quiet to protect your family even at the cost of your own future? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective could help others facing difficult ethical dilemmas. If this story of justice and standing up for yourself resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button for more compelling stories of revenge and personal triumph. Subscribe to our channel